And hello and welcome to a special edition of the Weekly Stash. This is Ed Garrett, Senior Editor for DC Comics on TM Stash. And we're going to have some special features here starting this week that carry you through the individual major publishers. This is the DC Corner. We're going to get started real quickly with two major storylines going on in DC right now. The first is Superman Doomed. There were 3 issues that came out this past week, and really you ought to grab all 3. Superman Wonder Woman Annual, written by Charles Soule, centers on Superman's inner struggle with the Doomsday virus and Steel and Lana's battle with the cyborg Superman. In the middle of all of this, Wonder Woman has to stop Super Doom from destroying a village, and just how far will the God of War go to stop it? It's a really interesting story here, and it meshes very, very well with the Action Comics Annual by Greg Pak that came out again same week, centering this time on Lois's inner battle with Brainiac and the League's attempt to get rid of the kryptonite cloud that's circling the Earth. Now, there's some resolution for both of these storylines, but it's noted at the end of this issue and the Superman Wonder Woman Annual, they both come to the same ending. There is an even bigger threat ahead, something that is planet-sized and really raises the stakes for everybody. Both of those lead to Action Comics number 34 by Greg Pak. Brainiac's planet-sized mothership is on the scene, and the team has a plan to stop it using Phantom Zone technology. But will that unleash another devastating threat? You betcha. I'll say this for Super Doom. This has really raised the stakes for Superman. It is easily the best storyline that I've seen since the beginning of the New 52 for the Man of Steel. There was, a couple of weeks ago, a little bit of lull in the storyline. Not so much anymore. This one really was jam-packed with action all the way through. You could potentially just get one of the annuals plus Action's individual issue this week and really keep up with the storyline, but I'd recommend you get all 3. This was easily at least a 9 out of 10 for each of the issues. Well worth checking out. Now let's go to our Batverse Weekly Report. Detective Comics number 34 by Francis Manapul and Brian Buccellato ends the Icarus storyline, but not before we get some awesome action from Detective Harvey Bullock, who by now should be a true favorite for any Bat fan. That broken nose he got in the previous issue has not slowed him down one bit. But we do get to the bottom of the Icarus trade, we get to the bottom of who's really behind Elena's death, and we get a hint as to the next big bad from Manapul and Buccellato's run on Detective. What do you think about an A with a circle? Yeah, that should be great. There's lots of double-page spreads in this issue, beautifully drawn by Manapul and colored by co-storyteller Buccellato. This is one of my favorite series. I love what they're doing artistically with Batman. I love the storylines themselves. This is really a fun run on Detective. You ought to be grabbing this one up. It's easily a 10 out of 10. Which leads me to another 10 out of 10, which is Batman Eternal number 18. This has been one of my favorite series to crop up in a long time. Tim Seeley handles the main script duties for Scott Snyder and James Tynion's story this week, centering on Batgirl, Batwoman, and Jason Todd as they track down clues to clear Commissioner Gordon. There's an interesting revelation by the Red Hood as to where he stands and where Batgirl stands in the pantheon of the Bat family. But meanwhile, in Gotham, you've got Batman, Lieutenant Bard, and Killer Croc working together, tracking down whatever's hiding in the underworld below Gotham. This is a fun series. There's one issue out every week. If it's not on your pull list, shame on you. Grab this really quickly. You'll enjoy it a lot. Now, Tim Seeley writing this one leads me to the one series in the Batverse I'm the most conflicted about, and that's Grayson. Issue number 1 of Grayson was in the top 10 for July on Diamond's list, and I expect probably issue 2 will be high up on the list as well. It's a great spy thriller, and this issue does a more effective job of reminding us that it really is Dick Grayson who's infiltrated this agency called Spiral. But I keep having trouble just from an old fan's perspective of this really being Dick Grayson in a spy outfit instead of in a superhero outfit, and not seeming to have a problem with that brain implant they gave him that gives him these mystical hypno powers, but also allows other people to do pretty bad things to him. Now, the new Helena Bertinelli, the new 52 version, is awesome. I'm really enjoying reading her, and she's already wearing some hints of a Huntress costume, so hopefully we'll see some more things there. But we'll see. I'm wondering, though, since there's been a funeral now for Dick Grayson, what's going to happen when the rest of the Bat family realizes two things. One is that Dick is still alive, and the other is that Batman and Robin, the original Robin, have been lying to everyone about him this whole time. We'll see how far this plays. Coming up next week, Gail Simone bids adieu to Batgirl in issue number 34. Birds of Prey finishes its run with a final issue. Justice League United comes up with issue number 4 that ends their first arc. Superboy brings in the multiverse. All the issues this past week have had multiversity ads, and I'm really looking forward to that series finally coming out. It's been touted for literally years, but there are, looks like, dozens of Superboys coming into this issue that's coming up this coming week. And then Superman Wonder Woman continues a doomed storyline. And again, don't forget Batman Eternal coming out with issue number 19. That's it for the DC Corner this week. This is Ed Garrett, Senior Editor for DC Comics at TM Stash. Have a great week, and we'll see you again soon.